Our next speaker, Pam Burton. The playlist, Pam Burton.
Take out your $100 bill. $40,000 waving in the air. In each darkened corner of the room was a freshly lit candle. The instructions: get in line and burn your $100 bill. On June 16th, 2007, I was in Atlanta, Georgia with 400 people at a 3-day seminar where we were told to bring a $100 bill. Contest master, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. 4 months after I turned 40, I realized that my life was like a song on repeat. And it was not your favorite dance party tune either. Did you know that some people live 90 years while other people live 1 year 90 times? Let me say that again. Some people live 90 years while other people live 1 year 90 times. I was on track to live 1 year 90 times. And I knew that there was more for me and in me, but something had to change. And it was me. Which is exactly how I found myself in a room with 400 people waving $40,000 in the air, and it's time to burn it. We were told to file out of the road, go down the aisle to the front of the room where we would burn our $100 bill. You can just begin to imagine the emotions in that room. I was shocked and scared. So I retreated into my safety zone, my head. And the voices said, "You can't afford to burn $100. What a waste! We could do so much good with that money. You said you were willing to do anything. Do it!" How many $100 bills have you burned in your lifetime? What is one more if it would change the playlist of your life? So I stood up. I got in line. I was ready to learn the lessons I needed to step into more in my life. I did some pretty amazing things that weekend. And I'll leave it to your imagination as to how I broke an arrow with my throat. And by the way, the exercise in burning the $100 bill was stopped just before the first bill was burned. Woo! It was a test. But it was not the only test I would face that weekend. The final test came on the last night. There were 400 people scattered all over the floor. 2 words: enlightened warrior. And behind it was a promise that I would find and meet my absolute best self in 5 days. There was only one catch. It cost $3,000. $3,000? You remember that voice that said, "You can't afford about $100? I sat there. My heart was pounding, and it was crowding the space of my lungs, and everything in me felt like if I didn't say yes to this opportunity, that I wouldn't be able to breathe my next breath. So I retreated back into my safety zone, my head. And this time the voices said, "You told yourself you wouldn't buy anything this weekend. You told yourself you would go home and simply implement what you learned. You need to honor what you said you would do." And then there was another voice, almost crying from the pain of being just in reach of something and not being able to touch it. It said, you have waited your entire life to meet your absolute best self. If she is in there, you must find her. And I needed help because I hadn't found her yet. And then two roads flashed before my mind. The path of yes and the path of that same old life. So in a moment, maybe 10 seconds, I made a life-altering decision. I said yes to my life, yes to my best self, and I found a way where a way didn't seem possible. I got up, I ran to the back of the room, I signed that form, and the rest is history. One moment. One decision. 10 seconds changed the playlist of my life and led me to people, places, and opportunities I never would have experienced if my life was playing that same old song on repeat. So I would ask you, is there anywhere in your life where you said no when everything in you wanted to say yes? So take your hand. I want you to reach in your pocket. Literally reach into your pocket. I want you to find your imaginary $100 bill. You got it? When you got it, I want you to pull it out. Now hold it up. Hold it up. Are you willing to burn it if it will change the playlist of your life? Here's your time, Mr.